A lot of people assume that someone with a title doctor works in the health or medical profession. You know, the ones that you could call on in an emergency. This needs to change because that assumption can be dangerous. I am a doctor, but of the philosophy type. I'm just as nerdy as the medical types, but I faint at the sight of blood. I am also a big people pleaser and a pushover. So I imagine being on a flight where this happens. A flight attendant would come running up to me and say, "Doctor, we need your help now." As I'm a people pleaser and a pushover who can't say no, I would say, "Okay." Then I'd follow them to a seat where a person is writhing in pain, going, "Ah!" The flight attendant would turn to me and ask, "Can you help?" As I'm a people pleaser and a pushover, but also honest, I would say, "I can try." I'd ask the person, "What's wrong?" They'd say, "My stomach hurts." I'd go, "Where is it hurting?" The person would point to a spot and I'd poke that spot and they'll go, "Oh." So then I'd ask, "Have you had this before?" They'd reply, "I've had aches before, though not this intense." So I'd ask, "What did you do then?" They'd say, "I usually just take an aspirin." So I'd turn to the flight attendant and say, "Get some aspirin?" The person would take the pill and I'd go, "Voila," and I would return to my seat. But I know later the flight attendant would come running up to me again and say, "Doctor, we need your help again, because I'm a people pleaser and a pushover. I wouldn't want to seem like I'm slacking off." So I would say, "Okay." Then I'd follow them and I'd see the same person from earlier, still writhing in pain, going, "Ah!" It still hurts. I'd ask the person, "The same pain?" They'd say, "Worse." I'd go, "Oh shit." But that would remind me of something, and so I'd ask, "Have you gone to the toilet?" They'd reply, "No, not yet." So I'd ask, "Well, why don't you go?" They'd say, "Well, I can't get up." So I'd turn to the flight attendant and say, "Get him up." The flight attendant would pull the person up and the person would go, "Ah!" And the flight attendant would drop them. I'd say, "Oh shit, try again." So the flight attendant would pull the person up, but the person would grab my neck and I would go, "Oh." So I'd stop and I'd look around. I would see a sick bag and I would think, "Well, that's a sick bag and we have someone sick." And so I'd tell the person, "Use this." They'd reply, "What? How? I can't move." I'd say, "You don't have to move your whole body, just your bowels." They'd reply, "What?" I'd say, "This is an emergency." Babies and old people would go and move their bowels. Don't be ageist. And then the person would agree. But I know, later, other people would use their sick bags and be sick. The flight attendant would come running up to me again and this time yell, "Doctor, you've made everyone sick. What kind of doctor are you?" I'd say, "Well, I'm a doctor of philosophy." The flight attendant would reply, "What? You clown." I'd say, "Comedian, actually, but close." The flight attendant would ask, "Why didn't you say so before?" And I'd say, "Well, you didn't ask. And I'm a people pleaser and a pushover, so..." Thank you, everyone. You've been a great audience. Thank you.